Oh no, another video about women in gaming. Why is he talking about this? You're right. Why am I talking about this? I'm a male. Straight male, if that matters to anybody. So why should you care? Those are probably the things you're thinking of right off the bat when you see the title and you see I'm a male. Hear me out. Yes, I'm a male, but I'm a gamer, as well as an artist, a creator, and a storyteller. This video isn't just about ugly women, though I do agree that women are purposely being created ugly, but I'll get to that. Just hang on. But I love a good female character in games and other media. Now, I do see other males come on and talk about this. However, a lot of them get scrutinized and just looked down on stuff. And I think it's just because that they're viewed as just normal everyday people who just happen to also be content creators, or just coming onto this platform or going on the other platform and just speaking their mind on this and saying, you know, how bad it is or whatever, saying how they're against it. I figured I would speak on this from an artist's point of view, someone who really doesn't like more modern females in media, who agrees with a lot of other content creators who also speak on the same subject. So when I see how it is today and compare it to back in the day, back before 2016, you know, back in the 2000s, 90s, whatever have you, it kind of saddens me how it is today. But real quick, guys, before we get into it, be sure to like this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, hit that bell notification. Also, if you have anything to say on this, I'd love to hear it. Go ahead and comment below. And also check the link tree in the description. That's going to give you a link to all my other work. It's going to give you a link over the Twitch where I live stream and just all the other stuff that I've done over the years. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. For those who don't know me, because I can't even hit that 200 sub goal, my name is Ace. I mentioned earlier that I'm a gamer and an artist. I'm a graduate of Art Institute, working freelance on the side. I wrote and published 3 books, a game on Steam, 2 short stories, all for my series called The Masters. All while also working a full-time job and creating content for my very small community. Now, the reason why I bring all this up is because some of those stories I've written are focused on female characters. They're like the main character, if not maybe the sub-main character. You know, it's just like there's 2 main characters and one of them's a female. Those stories are of heroic female protagonists going off an adventure either because it's their quest or they're the side character in a party and it's the main protagonist quest. One of them is a character here that I'm drawn. Her name is Tana, and that's you know, past me doing those drawings there. Tana's the main character of one of my books and also the game I mentioned earlier. She also returns in some other stories I've written to assist other characters in some way. When I write a female character, I have other female characters in mind for inspiration. Ones who are feminine, yet tough, self-sufficient on their own, but just enough to where they can still rely on their friends, family, party members, whatever have you, when needed. Not to be completely helpless, unless the story calls for it. I don't think that when you write a story, I don't think that it's okay just to have the woman either be all the way over here or all the way over there. Maybe a princess that's stuck in a tower, or a character who got kidnapped and, you know, can't defend themselves. That's fine. I mean, that's just the type of story you're trying to go for. That's not a problem. We've had plenty of those stories.
Well, excuse me, princess.
But the characters I have in mind are also not sexualized, but they aren't designed to look like male females either. And I'll go again, I'll be talking about looks here a little bit. Let's go ahead and look back at Tana. She is a daughter of a hero, and one day she gets attacked by shadow creatures and a leader of a cult. And then right after that, she is told she has to go out and save the world and has to stop this cult and also become an evil god. Yeah. Yeah, and then to add to all that, she's also told she has water powers that she didn't know existed, and that she's also a special race of human called the Cast that can absorb elemental orbs. So just imagine you're living your life and all of a sudden you get attacked and you're told that, oh, by the way, you live in a fantasy world. And you have powers. And you're the one that has to save the day. I mean, as a teenager, her world was turned upside down, which is a lot for a teenager. And the last thing that she really wants to go do is go on a sacrifice mission to save the world. And that's a world that she doesn't even know Up until this point, she's been cooped up in a house that's in the middle of a forest for the most part. The only other people she knows other than her mom is the family friends down the road. So she reluctantly goes, but when she realizes what's really at stake, she puts all those emotions she was having aside, and she's like, okay, I need to do this. Even during the adventure, she's met with depression, dark feelings from an event that happens, and I'm not going to spoil it. She ends up feeling like she wants to give up, and without spoiling anything, again, those feelings physically manifest into a new power she obtains, and it's a pretty cool power, I will admit. This is something that she has to overcome, and to balance all this out, she's also friendly, kind, and chill during the good times. During the times when they're just kind of having some downtime, nothing's really going on, those kind of moments. I think these are the stories I think people want to read, want to experience. So, when I see characters, let's say Mary Jane from Spider-Man, which that one upset me, because I'm a major Spider-Man fan, and it's just she wasn't handled properly at all. Abby from The Last of Us, or even Kay Vess, I feel like these were created not to share a good story and have good characters and everything. They were created to make a statement. The stories were told to make a statement in some way. Everyone knows what I mean. I'm not gonna go too much into it. They're just unlikable is what I'm basically trying to get at. Now, some of the female characters that I enjoy are E from Stellar Blade, Tifa from Final Fantasy VII, Mipha from Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I guess by extent Tears of the Kingdom, Miyabi from Zenless Zone Zero, Samus from Metroid, and even Aqua from Kingdom Hearts. These characters are badass, self-sufficient, and heroic. They are looked up by others, but they're not afraid to get help when it's needed. And then the cherry on top, they are well designed and good looking, and I might say I think some are even kind of sexy. You can change the look of these characters and they'll still be good. They don't have to be sexy or cater to fan service. Now, I haven't finished Assassin's Creed Shadows, but Nawe has been written really well from what I've experienced so far. Now, speaking of looks, because I know I've been kind of hinting towards it and talking about it, I even said I would talk about it, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. This does kind of pertain to this part of this discussion. It's been part of this discussion for a while now, but yeah, look, flipping the coin over on terms of sexy females, let's look at sexy males. If we have a character like Geralt in a bathtub or Naked Snake running around without a shirt, no one complains about it. But as soon as characters like Tifa and Aerith appear on the beach in swimsuits, people lose their minds. Bruh. What is this Gooner BS is what I hear sometimes from some people, and it's just, why? Now, if that last line sounds familiar, well, I will say that this video was inspired mostly by the BackgroundNPC's video, The Problem with Women in Games. So for sure, check her out. She does a great job with the video, explaining this stance on the from the view of an everyday gamer as well as a female. She was completely right in that video, though. As well as there's other videos that have the same stance, and I feel that they're all correct in this matter. And yeah, I just share that same opinion. What we want is well-written female characters, and we were tired of AAA studios thinking we don't want this because there's a small group of community whining about it. So you're gonna listen to the 10% over the 90%, and you know what happens? You lose the 90%. Those aren't exact numbers, those are just an example of what's basically happening. And I wouldn't say you lose the whole 90%, more like you're losing a big chunk of that 90%. You get the idea. I'm giving examples. Now, do I think that we should have female characters who are damsels in distress, crying all the time, can't do anything on their own? No, not unless the story calls for it, like I said earlier. But do we need manly women, girl bosses? I need no man. Hell no. When people play games and watch movies, TV shows, anime, whatever have you, they're meant as escapism, as fantasy. They're trying to get away from all that stuff that these characters are basically representing. These are fictional characters, treat them as such. The Eastern studios do it all the time, so why can't Western studios do the same? Now, I'm not saying that they can't do this or that. I'm not saying that these are bad takes or whatever. A lot of the times, basically, what I'm seeing is that we're taking these you know, they're changing the way that the character is written, the way they're look, the way they are designed, or whatever, and putting them into series that weren't like that before, and that's where the problem lies. If they were made for a brand new IP or whatever, and that's what the IP was meant to do, then sure, fine, go ahead. But you know, don't take Star Wars that didn't have it before and give it to it. Why? That clearly says that you're not trying to tell a story, you're trying to make a statement. I'm sorry, that's just the way that I see it. Now, when I talk about these characters and how they don't look good, I don't mean to say that they can't look like this, because it's fine if they do look like this. It's just, it comes off not good, and it seems like the Western studios are trying to avoid creating sexy characters because it's like a plague or something, like it's bad, it's taboo, that they can't make sexy characters. Why? Anyways, if you made it this far in the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment below. Please let me know what you think of this. Again, thank you so much. Also, I will see you on the next Twitch stream or video or whatever have you, but later.